Ladies and gentlemen, we have to react to a comment who calls us racist and says that we don't understand what South Africa is about. With me is Byron. Byron, do you know what South Africa is about?
Yes, I do know what South Africa is about. It's about free handouts and crime waves and no electricity. That's pretty much the story of South Africa today, isn't it?
And I fully agree with you, but according to this particular comment we received on your video on BE, the biggest problem is white people who aren't self-aware enough. Now, I don't know what that means. I'm very well aware that I'm half white and half Arabic. I'm very aware that you are a Roy Nick of note, and that's the only awareness I need to know about people for the most part. So when someone says, I am white and self-aware, alarm bells start ringing.
Can't help but feel that this individual is probably some kind of Karen from the Western Cape that's been through a critical race theory seminar.
The comment goes on to say that instead of thinking all black people are useless, number one, we've never ever said that. Number two, we don't hate black people. It is remarkably stupid to live in Africa and be racist. Like, remarkably. We don't understand it because we're not racist. We choose to live in Africa because we love living in Africa. Why would we hate people if we choose to live here? It doesn't make any sense. It's like hating Islam and then moving to Saudi Arabia. But what about this notion that white people have increased their earnings more than any other racial group since 1994?
Look, there's a story of life. I'm sure you've heard it before. And that is hard times create hard people, hard people create soft times create soft people, and soft people create hard times, and round and round the circle of life goes. And those that are hard and can create a softer time for themselves inevitably lead the benefits of the fruits of their labor. And this person goes on to even say what those things are, and that is the best healthcare and the best education around. And I think I stand to probably say that I think the majority of South Africans, regardless of their own personal wealth, would more than happily say, we'll use government hospitals and government education, not pay for them. Like, why pay for what I can get for free if they were really, really good? And the reality is government education and government health services are appalling. But we are meant to believe that somehow we should feel guilty for enjoying those services.
Another aspect of this particular comment is that the whites control the economy, which is impossible. You can't control an economy unless you're the Soviet Union, and they failed dramatically at that. But here's the thing, and this is the morning shot hot take of the day. If you left the economy in 1994, let's assume it was 80% white owned, whatever that means. It doesn't mean anything, but let's assume that it was. If you left it like that and just let the economy run free, there would be a far bigger black middle class now, far more black entrepreneurs, and far more taxes now than anything to do with the interventions imposed by the ANC since 1994. You can't put a handbrake on productive people and assume that those who are maybe less productive or less skilled can upscale themselves by holding back the ones that take the most risks. That's what the ANC has done for 30 years. It hasn't worked. That's what the Soviet Union did. It didn't work. So any intervention by the ANC over the past 30 years has been to the detriment of poor black people, not to the benefit, the absolute detriment.
And I think that every time an individual going forward hears this phrase, why people control the economy, why people own the economy, punch a moron in the face. That should be the new slogan. Where you see the moron that says that to you, punch him in the face. Let's normalize that, because it is impossible to own an economy. It is an EFF, RET, commie, bastard phrase that gets slung around a lot. You cannot own an economy. It's impossible.
And also, inherent in that argument is that, okay, so whites control the economy, so therefore they only want to have like white customers for some reason, or they only want to have white shareholders or something like that. Now, tell me, Byron, you and I both run businesses. Have you ever met a business person who says, you know what, Byron, what I really want to do is to limit my customer base to the racial group that I prefer?
Why would you do that? If you think about it logically, there's what, 4.6 million whites in South Africa, give or take. The best color, in my opinion, is blue, because that's the color of 100 Rand notes, right? That's not black or white, that's blue. And that's my favorite color. And I couldn't give a damn what color is that blue note is in the hand of. And I don't know anybody that does, mate. I don't know any of the people that even I work with or that you work with that goes, you know what? I know that guy has $1 million to give me, but I don't want it because he's black. Like, that's stupid. Who the hell believes this? In order to gain an economic recovery, you need to revitalize all of the economy, not some of it, not key sectors of it. 100% of the economy needs to be fired. It needs to be put into activation mode, which means you have to drop all barriers to entry, which includes barriers towards white people, Indian people, colored people, regardless. Drop all the bullshit and allow the entire economy to function on an even playing field. That was the crux of my argument. And yet we are told that apparently we are racist for thinking that.